Hello, happy Tuesday and happy Lunar New Year. Gong Hei Fa Choi. I just learned that this morning again with Shelly. Every year she has to teach me how to say Happy Lunar New Year in uh, Chinese. So today, we started celebrating the Lunar New Year, also known as Chinese New Year. However, the reality is that several countries like South Korea, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, they all celebrate it. And this is 2022 is the year of the tiger. And that means, according to Alex's research, that we'll all be more adventurous and courageous, just like the tiger. What else? Also, Alex created these red envelopes, as you know, during Lunar New Year, or maybe you don't know. So during Lunar New Year, we do give people some envelopes with cash inside, and it's a lot of gift giving, not only cash, but that's the main thing to bring, like a symbol to bring a prosperous year. So Alex created this very cute red envelope that you can download. She's gonna drop the link here in the comments, and you can download and print it for free. So take advantage of that because she is an amazing artist. What else? I have here on my list to tell you. Oh, of course, there are several Lunar New Year celebrations around town, and there's something for everyone. There's celebrations inside restaurants, outdoors. There's free stuff. There's paid stuff. So Asia Trend and also Walong Kung Fu Temple, they all have lists of these performances and these celebrations. So if also Alex can drop the link in the comments, you can check it out, and I'm sure you'll find something that is just right for you. And speaking of celebrations, I would love for you to join us on February 13th during the Dragon Parade. Yeah, so it's going to be Sunday. The parade kicks off at 11. I think we're all meeting at 10, and sign up to join us, to walk with us. It's super fun. It's always a great time. And doing this parade, we do a lot of parades, but this one is just so special because it's like in the neighborhood. And I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but I really love the Dragon Parade. And I hope you can join us. So you haven't signed up yet, please do. Link in the comments. Lots of link in the comments today, but what can we say? It's a celebrations month. We are also celebrating, of course, Black History Month. So today is the start of the Black History Month celebrations as well. And I want to talk more about this, but I don't want to keep you with like 500 announcements. So for today, I am so happy to have our special guest being interviewed by our very own Terry Olson. Ronda Robinson, she's the special assistant to Orange County Mayor Jerry L. Demings, and she's gonna talk to us about her story, growing up African American, and projects she's working on, and how you also can get involved in the MLK Initiative or just attend events that the county is always working on. So without further ado, here is Terry and Ronda Robinson. Bye.
Welcome to Diverse Orange, our conversations on Tuesdays. And today my guest is Ronda Robinson from the Office of Mayor Jerry L. Demings. Welcome, Ronda.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the invite, and thank you for having me.
So first of all, Ronda, tell us, are you a native Central Floridian?
I am born, bred, and raised right here in Orlando. I am a native of Orlando. I went to all of the Orange County public schools. As far as in my district, I'm Fern Creek Elementary, Howard Middle, and the Jones High School in Orlando. And I'm also a UCF grad. Go Knights.
All right. So you've been around, and that's why the mayor has tapped you to be his assistant, especially for African American relationships. Is that right?
That is correct. So I'm one of 5 special assistants to Mayor Demings, and we all we work together on all of the events, any constituent related concerns or inquiries. We all work together to coordinate and facilitate. However, you are correct. My main focus is the African American community here locally in Orange County.
So in your years from growing up to now, have you seen a change in the county in relationship to diversity and ethnicity?
At the county, yes, absolutely. It's amazing how Orlando has grown. I was sharing on my social media post a couple of days ago. I've been with the county for 27 years now, and I've been downtown here in county admin for maybe 12 or 13 of those years. And I just started my fitness walk during lunch, and I'm just floored at how Central Florida, downtown Orlando has grown. And so, yes, with all of the different eateries, with all of the entertainment spots, I'm just blown away. So yes, from a little girl up into now, it's like, okay, this is a huge city we live in. Love it.
So Fern Creek and Howard are pretty diverse with Black and white students and Asian and Hispanic. Jones more
African American.
American.
Yes.
And the community you grew up in, was it primarily African American?
Yes. I grew up in Carver Shores, and that's on the southwest side of Orlando, and it's predominantly African American. And I should note, during my time at Fern Creek and Howard Middle, it was diverse, but it was majority white. And Asian, I would say. I didn't have, a lot of Hispanic or other ethnicities when I was going to those schools, but it was primarily white, both schools. But we had, representation of all cultures, I should say.
So when you first went to school, where as in your community, you were probably in the majority as people that looked like you. When you went to school, was that a issue? I mean, how did you feel about that?
With regards to being
now in the minority at that school?
I'll be honest with you, Terry, I didn't realize it. I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize that there was a difference per se until I got to Jones High School. I'll be honest with you. I was treated the same. We were all considered, students, babies. And I never experienced, and I guess this is an epiphany for me, reflecting, I never experienced any inconsistencies or diversity issues during my education. And that's at all three schools. Growing up here in Orlando, did it exist? Probably so, but I wasn't privy to that.
Sure.
Or made privy, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, that's great. What do you think we need to do? Are there improvements that need to be made in our inclusion and equity in our county?
To be honest with you, and I say this on a regular basis, even through our Orange County Dr. Martin Luther King Initiative, conversation. I think more candid conversation, knowing what, diversity, equity, inclusion, really mean to each person, each individual. We all come from a, different race, different culture, different backgrounds, different lifestyles. But having transparent, open, candid conversation about the diversity of us all, I think that's what's warranted more, and that's what Mayor Demings has said and believed from day one since he came into office in 2019. It's about holding uncomfortable conversations about meaningful topics. And so I think, to answer your question, to get to that point of just holding conversation with people not feeling that they're restrained or constrained about race relations, about different lifestyles for what they chose, different cultures. I think it's basic, but that's the first primary thing that we need to do.
And you mentioned the MLK Commission, which is kind of an outgrowth of the mayor's desires there. Tell us about that.
So the MLK, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Initiative was started by Mayor. This is something that he came to me back in 2019 to say, hey, being that first African-American mayor of Orange County, I feel it would be befitting to have something ongoing. We have our initiative is not just for the month of January or for April to commemorate his life. We commemorate, recognize, honor him throughout the calendar year. So there are various projects. It's 30 community stakeholders, residents that's involved in the initiative. They are a phenomenal group of people. They come from education background, nonprofit, just various organizations, community-based organizations. And they come to the table and they say, okay, looking at the 6 principles of nonviolence that Dr. King was about, what can we do to better engage? What can we do to better unite in the midst of everything our nation, Orange County, is dealing with right now? What can we do to stay constantly engaged to commemorate Dr. King? And so we have various community projects, activities that we've been doing since 2019. Of course, since the pandemic, a lot of our activities and events have been virtual, but we did not disengage. We had candid conversation series that went from talking to elected officials about race relations, civil unrest back in 2019, 2020, to the pandemic. So our main focus is to stay engaged and let our residents know that we're here. We got to remain resilient, and we have to remain together. So that's basically what our MLK initiative is about, making sure that people remember his legacy, his life, what he stood for, and through our action and deed, we continue his legacy and his life work.
How can people or can the general public get involved in MLK Initiative?
Absolutely.
How do they know about that?
So we have a dedicated county webpage. You can Google Orange County Dr. Martin Luther King Initiative or go to ocfl.net/MLK. And all of the stuff that we've done since November of 2019 up until the present date is on there. We have, this past weekend, we did a lot of community-based activities. We, participated in the Orlando JC's MLK Showcase. That was at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center. We participated in Edenville's annual MLK Parade. And we have a lot of upcoming activities and events that we're going to do. Again, we had to pivot towards virtual again this year because of COVID. But we've partnered with the Heart of Florida United Way, and they have a lot of virtual and face-to-face activities and events that our residents can participate in. So it's all listed on our webpage. We're going to continue to do what we do in the midst of everything we're experiencing because we feel it's significant and it's important to our community.
Great. Well, keep up the work there.
Thank you.
And, I totally support it as well. So I'm really glad that you're on staff, and thank you for our conversation today.
Well, thank you for having me.
And thank you for those of you watching. Thank you for checking in as we learn more about our neighbors and how we as a community are a diverse but unified community.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.